Pink to Be or Cold.
Did you guys do that the song we just listened to? What was it called?
Greedy Love.
Greedy Love. Did you guys record that separately, or did you just like track it?
When we did it initially, like we all played together, and then we did overdubs on top of that.
Okay.
Like all the cabs and shit, wherever, in just other rooms and whatever, and then we redid the guitar parts, vocals.
And that was
bass.
the one at Mobtown you guys did you recording at? Did you guys record the entire EP there?
Yeah, entire thing.
And how many songs are on that?
Four songs in 3 days.
It's a 4-song EP?
Yeah.
Dude, you got to put that on SoundCloud.
Yeah,
You got to. But it's on everything else, though. It's on Apple Music and all that shit. I feel like it's...
This is very true.
That's the reason. Yeah, the reasoning behind that was we kind of wanted at first to at least funnel everyone towards one outlet. So when we had we put Greedy Love out there to have a teaser, and then when we released the whole thing, we thought let's have all of our listens on Spotify. So instead of 500 listens on Spotify, 500 on SoundCloud, all 1,000 would go to Spotify. So it looks better when we're presenting that.
It sounds like the service you guys use did that for you. Like
yeah,
you
we did
uploaded your
everything.
music.
Who do you guys have? Is it CD Baby or...
We use CD Baby, and that was kind of an involved process. And I just took care of that on my laptop. But it took a couple days just to get everything fucking filled out. There's so much information that goes into that stuff, and making sure everyone had equal credit, everyone had their name on, everyone has their own performance organization to make sure royalties get there. And yeah, it was a big pain. But when it came down to what outlets we wanted, they have this whole list that's already checked for you.
Oh, wow.
You can go through and uncheck ones that you don't want to be on. I don't know why the fuck anyone would want to uncheck anything. So I said, we'll just put it on anything. So I don't know the extent of what we're on, but we're on almost every single
Taylor
major.
Swift was not on Spotify.
She wasn't on Spotify.
We got
forever.
Taylor, she's on Tidal. Is she one of the people on Tidal now?
No, she's on Spotify now.
She's just mad about the streaming plays.
She came back on Spotify the same day.
She's mad I'm not texting her.
Single. Yeah.
Dude,
I mean,
look at
how
what
do you
you
guys...
made her do,
I
dude.
guess at this point, royalties aren't really...
I'm busy.
how many plays are you guys getting as of right now?
On
We're
all of them,
Yeah.
it's less than 1,000.
So royalties are okay.
Royalty free, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
We're a
Royalties-
non-profit
we have,
organization.
we made maybe 49 cents so far. Yeah. Halfway to half a Miller Lite.
How long ago did you guys the EP that you put out? How long ago did you guys finish that?
Yeah.
We finished it at the end of August. August is when it was finally done, and then we released it in October.
December.
Yeah.
Oh, in December.
December
No,
28th.
we put out Greedy Love in October, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And have you guys done anything video wise along with the songs to try to...
We have a video for Racer that's on YouTube, but it's not really of us.
Oh, it's just
like a
kind of
collaboration of images.
looks like one of those fan videos that people make.
Yeah, it's
sometimes.
kind of like animated, which is pretty cool. I don't know how else to describe it.
Jake Armstrong did it.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
nice.
Jake, he did the
So
Reagan Cat
he
stuff
did,
too.
I think it was all 16 millimeter.
Dude,
I
he's
don't
a
know
really
shit
good-
about
he's
I
a
don't know
really
anything
good
about
editor.
cameras, but it was
Yeah, me
all
neither.
film that he had gotten, and then he
draws
scratches
on, yeah.
over and shit or something. I don't know how he does it, but we
And-
just asked him to kind of take his own path with it.
What was the EP called?
Just Thunder Club
Thunder
EP.
Club EP.
Okay.
It's one of those things where none of us could think of a name, and so we just stuck with it.
It's tough.
It is hard. Yeah.
Just a band name is a pain.
Yeah.
Because I imagine that was your first work together as a collective, was it not?
For all 5 of us, yes, but throughout our time as musicians,
Okay.
we've all kind of played together in some shape, way, or form.
Obviously,
Garrett-
you and John did.
Yeah, me and John actually were never in a band together for an extended period of time. I was in a band that he was a part of, and I got kicked out of because
Got kicked
they didn't
out?
they didn't like they didn't like the brother dynamic. So yeah, I got kicked out of the band that we were initially in. Me, Garrett, and Connor were in a band together in high school. Garrett and Dennis did a project called Sung for Streetlights before this. And then me and Garrett were both around here, this area at the same time, and we started playing together, and then slowly brought everyone into one.
That's crazy that you found 5 people that are all interested in making the same type of music in a way. I mean, I don't know if it's all who's the primary writer of the music.
None
would you
of
say?
us are the primary.
we all
writers.
are.
So you guys literally are figuring that shit out, just rehearsing, jamming, and
Jamming out.
Literally jamming.
That's
is
crazy.
by far the
Yeah.
main.
Yeah,
way
we
that
don't even practice
put
that
together
much.
stuff.
We do once a week, and some band, it's kind of relative to each band, but we found out that through practicing almost once a week, it's like we stay, at least, I live in Pennsylvania, so I don't see these guys.
Wow.
6 days out of the 7. And so, at least for me, I'm going back to my house, listening to different shit. They're listening to all their stuff. And when we get together, and, we have some new ideas that are coming out that have literally been written in 12 minutes, or less.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's like just creative juice like flowing the second we get in there.
So much of it is just literally jamming. Like we'll get there and we'll just start playing whatever, and then one of us will just be like, all right, stop. Like, what was that? Like, go back, do that again. And like, we'll do it again, and then we'll just kind of add on to that. And like, it's just very sort of like just creative, I guess. Just
That's
not really
wild,
that
dude.
structured in the way. I mean, half the time we're like drinking beers and practice, just, hanging out. And
That's the way to do it, too.
Yeah.
It's easier that way.
I think it helps that we're all
Yeah,
friends.
yeah.
For the
That
most
too.
part. For the most part. Yeah, I remember when it was a couple summers ago, and I was just driving around, like it was like 6 or 7 p.m. and Garrett sent me this video. Him and Pete had been jamming, and it was the main riff of "Greedy Love." And Garrett's like, "What do you think of this?" I'm like, "Holy fuck, dude! This is
sucked."
yeah, terrible." At that time, totally different key, and Garrett was on drums, and
Garrett was playing drums?
Yeah, because
Wow.
sometimes when they're
I
just
am an amateur.
well, and it just helps to write, because we have 2 different locations that have 2 drum sets, so it's nice having the variety. But I was listening to it, I was like, I freaked out. I was like, holy shit, this sounds so good, and kind of just took off from there.
It sounds like, do you guys have because you played 3 new ones today, right?
4.
Do you 4 new ones? I thought you did
2 of the EP. And then
Oh, you did 6 songs total. Okay, I was thinking 5.
You
Do you
got
guys
carried away.
have you think you're coming out with a new project soon?
Yes.
Like
Look, we've been like trying to get recording together. We have 5 completely different schedules of people, which is very annoying.
Dude, by the way, I just gotta say, dude, we were kind of nightmares about it. Like the whole thing.
Yeah.
This is so
7
long.
different
This is
people's
actually so
schedules.
long in the making now. I'm thinking about it. This is
third
crazy.
time. Third time's the charm.
Third time's the charm. Third time's
Finally
the
got the
charm.
date.
And now that I'm I was the whole time we were setting up, I was outside packing up gear, and I was like, dude, there's no fucking way we would have been able to do all this after work on a Thursday night. It
No
took
way.
3 hours to get set up, and that was
No way.
my fault mostly because I'm fucking yo, does anybody have an XLR? But that would have been the same way on a Thursday too. So it's
Yeah, it was great that we found a Saturday during the day, during the hottest day of the fucking year, and got it all together. and
getting
had
this
time.
done is a huge check off my list. It's crazy. I was like, oh my god, dude. You and I must have spent
Hours and hours on the phone.
back and forth.
Yeah.
I hope we're worth the wait.
Does that weekend work? Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
When you first, it's good now, dude. I'm so fucking. You guys sounded great today, by the way.
Yeah,
it
thanks,
was
man.
that
Thank
that
you.
might have been one of my no shade to any other band that's been in here because they've honestly we haven't had a bad session ever, and all of them have been good. That sounded amazing.
Thank you. Thank
dude,
you.
And the thing I would say, dude, the way the tones of your instruments come out of your amp, it's there's really not much for me to do. It makes my job easy when we mix it, or if I send it to you guys, just it sounds like it's supposed to sound. It's just wow, you guys just have that down pat.
Yeah, I think some of that comes down to the fact that at least I can speak for both Pete and I that we just own way too many pedals, and we put a lot of effort into making sure that when we're just playing, it sounds like how we want it to sound in the studio. And that just, I guess, takes a lot of time and a lot of cash.
And you guys fucking rocked. The last I don't. When you were on with Juice, that was before the Autobar show, right?
That. What do you mean?
When you did the podcast with Juice.
Oh yeah.
Brothers, right? Brothers.
It was a little cryptic the way I asked it, but you guys,
Saturdays are for the boys.
I got the answer I wanted. That's good enough.
Yeah, nice.
You guys fucking rocked that show, dude. I don't think I had no clue, dude. It was wild. You guys, the sound guy at the Autobar. I thought when I first heard you guys, I was like, wow, this sound guy's really good. And then I thought,
Yeah, band sucks, but the sound guy.
little did I know it was you guys that were good. So
Yeah, I think this such a big part of what we bring to the table and what people recognize about us is really our live show. It's kind of like a totally different like element.
You guys did something with like this drum thing where it was like. It was like y'all.
Yeah. We like to. Yeah,
We walk on there
absolutely.
and bust out that G chord.
It's such a like. It's such a different feel and it's like a whole different level of energy than like watching somebody up there to an instrumental go. I talked about with my brother all the time. I was like, Dom, I feel like if you want to elevate your live show, you got to kind of get something more than just. I know that's how it's done, like in the hip hop community, but there's just something about seeing dudes just fucking wail out, and it's like it's so much more. I don't know. It's almost it's and I don't think people that went there were had that in their list of things they were going to see that night. So it was just like it was really cool.
It feels a lot more real with like instrument. Watching a
Yeah.
DJ, it's like you're doing something.
It's like
up
watching
there.
karaoke. It's like
Even at those,
Like I don't really know what you're doing to make this music that you aren't making at this very second because you did it before. You push play and then you.
yeah,
Not knocking the DJs, but a lot of people do that.
Yeah,
Like
strictly,
that, yeah.
strictly speaking about those Autobar shows, like Juice and Cam do so well at them just because of the live sound. I think, like, I feel like that just brings in like what you guys are saying, like the liveness, and like I know people who hire just like a live drummer, like to play at a party along with music, just because it adds like. You know, something extra.
Drummers bring it to the table. I was impressed. You were doing fucking stick spins in there for the studio session.
Dude,
Most
I got
of the
that
time,
on,
the
like,
camera wasn't even on you. I was like, he might drop that.
Dude, it's such a bad habit now. I did drop him at one point, but it was like,
That's
Did
something.
you have one in your sack thing there, or did you?
yeah, I
Just...
got a bunch of sticks. in my
Okay, that's
sack.
good.
And I think that's something that's part of what we do is we played shows in front of lots of people. We played shows in front of just our parents. At like we had a couple shows at Metro Gallery and stuff where there weren't many people out, but we still act the same. It doesn't matter whether or not we have a crowd. We just love playing the music so much that when we get up there, it's just always consistent. We always try and rock out. It's
People
just part
tell
of
us a
it.
lot where we look like we're having a blast, and like honestly, that shit's contagious. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I mean, you just
You
get
guys made the most of this. It's like fucking 98 degrees in here and shit.
Oh,
like
oh,
that. You
yeah.
guys just
Added
fucking
to it. It added
killing
to it.
There's a hot box in there.
all right.
Guys had. Oh, thank you, sir. So
Felt good though.
So what's like? So how many like new songs would you say you have ready for the next project as of right now?
Seven
thing-
or eight. Yeah. At this point,
Wow.
we have double the amount of new songs that we have recorded and out. So it's interesting because when people say, "Oh, can we listen to your music somewhere?" It's like, yeah, we have their EP out, but at this point, we have so many newer songs that just come watch us.
Yeah. But I mean, like I know that like kind of complex because I feel like it's always going to be the thing where you listen to your old project and you just like you're not satisfied with it. But I feel like what the product that you guys put out is like totally marketable. It's and like I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what happens next with the next EP. But you guys don't even have like a situation like you said earlier that the studio that you recorded at last time is out of business now.
Yeah, Mobtown is no longer doing recording sessions. They're mainly just doing mixing and mastering, which is a heartbreaker. I've recorded 2 albums. I recorded Sunk for Streetlights with Garrett, and that was also at Mobtown.
Wow.
So that's really the only studio.
Where was
we've
that,
ever
by
been.
the way?
It was where is it? Like North Charles, somewhere around there. Yeah, right next to Parts and Labor, if you know where that is.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, Charmington's that area.
Oh wow, I didn't know.
Right, yeah, right past the auto bar.
Wow.
Oh,
In a row house.
Well, what's
Yeah,
the deal?
I think so.
What's the deal with where you work? Spaces.
Stages.
Stages.
He
Spaces.
works in space.
You're talking to me so cryptically. Like, so the last time.
Figure out what I mean, dog.
Yeah, I've been talking to this guy Brian Ewald, who's from Annapolis, and he worked with my old band, and I thought it was great. So I just am trying to work with him. So it's just kind of like a back and forth thing right now, trying to find a date to put it all together. So Stages is there, and I guess it's ready, but like I really just want to work with. I think I want to work with Brian Ewell because I know Pete has
do.
worked with him,
He's
and I know
my
that
old
these guys
teacher.
would all benefit from just working with him because he's such a seasoned musician.
This guy
You want him to produce your.
Yeah, record.
Yeah.
Like he's got a room in his house that he like converted into a studio, but
Wow.
he's the PRS demo guy. Like he goes and does NAMM and shit for them.
Wow.
And he's probably one of the best guitar players I've ever seen, known, met.
Dude,
Like,
you
the dude can literally play anything. He was like 20, like 22 or 23 when I was playing with one of the guys from the Temptations touring the world. Like, dude just fucking rips. So
The fact that he's a guitar player appeals to me greatly, because then
Yeah.
when you walk in there as guitarist,
You have to know a lot about tone to be
Yeah, and also just the nuances that go into amps and getting your gear right and getting the tone right. And if you go into a studio where it's not necessarily a guitar guy or he doesn't care about guitars, you're forever going to regret it. So, yeah.
Dude, when I walked into the studio at Stages, got it. When I worked it was like I actually kind of
huge
like,
one, yeah.
dude.
It's surreal.
I welled. I'm not
insane.
even fucking lying. I like welled up a little bit. Like
Rob
I walked
and
in that.
Ryan did a hell of a job. Like,
It looks like a fucking movie set of like what a
Right?
studio should look like.
and there's two
Yeah.
of them.
Crazy.
There's two of them that are identical. It's fucking ridiculous.
Dude, when I went into that like isolation booth, it
Mhm.
was like it was unfucking believable. Because
You
like
clap and it's just like
who was
it's crazy.
Did you feel isolated?
dude, it was that's probably why I almost cried, dude. I felt so alone.
then they got the like bathrooms in there, and like they have a whole kitchenette. I mean,
You don't have to.
Now you're
Yeah.
just listing stuff that I don't have.
It's
dude. Now-
absurd. No.
They have air conditioning in there, you piece of fucking shit.
That's a
Running
fucking
water.
multi-million-dollar investment. That thing is absurd.
I mean, we
Like,
got the pizza here, so
They
we're
have
set.
more than 7 XLR. It's crazy what they have going on there.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll, get some new music out. We're really anxious to get it out and give something palpable to people to listen to.
Well, how often are you guys playing right now?
Once a month.
Yeah.
Once a
Not-
month. That's.
Yeah.
But these are original gigs, right?
Yeah.
You guys don't play any covers during your gigs at all.
We'll play a cover here and there.
But
Like
that's way harder to like the fact that you're playing it once a month as an original band right now is it was wild. Where
Yeah,
what
you
kind of
guys
place?
did like White Stripes at the Auto Bar, right? That was the cover, or no?
We did a
Block
Strokes
Party
cover, yeah.
and the Strokes.
Yeah.
Okay.
One thing we did for a while was we did Passion Fruit by Drake, which was
Oh,
pretty
you
good
did
thing to
that
do.
at Auto Bar too.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a version,
that was
like a
fun.
version. Yeah.
We kind of beat that to death, so
Now, are you guys like because whereabouts are you getting these shows? Are you selling tickets for each one of these, or are these like just things that you're getting
People
added
have-
onto? Or
people have been hitting us up on Facebook and email, and like that's been one of the coolest parts about it. Is just
people as in fans or venues?
Bands have
other
been
artists a
finding us,
lot
yeah.
do
Oh,
want to
bands?
collaborate.
Yeah, bands have been
Wow.
reaching out to us, being like, "Hey, we're listening to your shit on Bandcamp right now. We're really digging it. Do you want to, get together for the show that we're holding in Baltimore?"
Okay.
And I guess that's where we play a lot of Auto Bar, Metro Gallery, Joe Squared. We played Soundstage recently, which was a freaking blast.
Wow.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
That was great.
That was awesome. The Crown as well, and we had 2 shows up in Lancaster where I live.
Okay.
It's kind of a double like pros and cons because we have access to a whole nother scene because I'm up there. But what's up? Oh yeah, he's not even here right now. Yeah, we did a show up at this place called Telus 360, which is like one of my favorite bars / music venues, and we were then invited to play as part of Long's Park Summer Series at this massive amphitheater, which was kind of surreal because the place was enormous. Felt kind of isolated on stage.
Have you guys thought? Where's the farthest you've traveled so far for a gig?
Lancaster.
Lancaster, yeah.
That's good though.
It's about an hour.
we love
hour and
Baltimore
15.
so much.
Yeah.
We never want to leave.
Have
we
you guys
wanna-
ever considered you might potentially be ready to like book yourself a tour type of thing?
Well, I think the first step first is sorry, Connor. Start going south to DC and to Philly. You can't stop the train.
What?
What?
And rhythm section.
What was the question?
We want to go. We want to do a tour. Like we would love to do that, but it's not really feasible, or it doesn't really make sense for us. I guess at this point, like we don't even have like the most merchandise that we've got are stickers and koozies, which we tried to sell for all of 5 minutes. And then we just were like, the thing about it, like you can get what do we get like 100, 200 koozies or something, and then we
200.
were just. At shows, when you see someone with a beer can, you walk up to them, you just shove that thing on, and then they got a koozie the rest of the night, and they're taking it home with them.
That's true. It's better that way, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'll definitely take a free koozie for sure.
Right.
I don't think I've ever paid for a koozie. Now I think about it. I think every koozie I've ever had has been free.
It's just a giveaway thing. We've also gotten it into the habit after shows of literally just taking people's phones and liking all of our shit on Facebook and following us on Spotify and everything.
I always wonder, those like QC scanners, or whatever the fuck they are.
The QR codes.
They haven't gotten. I don't know if it's just because I don't know how to use it that I'm saying this, but like, I feel like, do people use that shit a lot? I feel like that should be like
that's
way.
an old
Probably not.
person thing.
Yeah.
They're like,
I was gonna say-
wow, I can download this app if I take
Yeah.
a picture of it instead of just fucking looking it up on the Apple store. Let me waste my time.
That's true, dude.
Right.
Like 3 years ago, I thought it would be cool if you could have like a what is it called again? QR scan. Just fucking take a picture of it, and it would like automatically like all your shit and like download your album too. Like if I feel like that would be sick.
Like when you buy a vinyl or something, and then they have like the digital code in there. I've seen ones in there that you just take.
Of course, it's a fucking vinyl.
Yeah.
They're coming back. They're
Probably
coming
not
back.
gonna use this, so
You're probably old as fuck now. I don't know.
That's the hardest part, though, is getting people to look up your shit. Because people are lazy when it comes down to it. So you almost have to do it for them. As Connor said, we've literally taken people's phones and liked our own page. And then,
sue me.
yeah.
We'll go I'll look over and see Connor talking to some person at the bar, anybody, and I'll just be like, "Can I see your phone?" And 5 minutes
Usually pretty
later,
wary about
5 minutes later, he walks up to me and he's like, "I got us 5 more likes on Facebook, 3 more followers on Spotify, and a free beer."
And the next morning when they wake up, they're like, fuck this. I'm going to unlike this page.
Well, do you think so? Like you said that a tour wouldn't be feasible at this time, but do you think it's something that is necessary for what you guys are doing, or you think it would just be like a bonus, or like are you guys primarily focused on marketing yourselves just in the Baltimore area, or are you planning on pushing the social media a little bit more?
Like, it kind of happened like really quickly almost. I mean, we were kind of doing the whole basement thing, and after just 2 or 3 shows, people were like, that was awesome. Like, I want to see more of that. And like, now we're getting hit up for gigs and whatnot. And when you really go back to it, like, it's only been like what, like, of us like actually being out gigging like a year or something.
7
like that?
months. 7 months.
7, yeah, okay,
First shows
7
in
months.
February.
And so like, I don't know. I think we're pretty comfortable at the speed we're moving at right now. But like, as far as a tour goes, I think every band should tour, and like that's absolutely. If things keep going the way they're going, like I think we're absolutely gonna fit that in there.
That would be insane.
Yeah, man.
Well, that's how musicians make money now, is the live show. So
Yeah.
the tour is necessary for that. And then people just need to know about us, and it's easier to do that in person than it is through Facebook and say like, "Hey, check out my band," and like, we're not going to catfish you.
I gotta say, just kind of brings me back. I think one gig, a breakthrough gig, at least for me, was Tiger Fest, because, and that's like Towson University's like huge festival or whatnot, and yeah, no, something like that. But we had played a competition to get the gig in the first place, so we were competing with some other really talented bands, and like we ended up winning that to get the spot there. So that like made it a lot more worth it or whatnot. And like it's cool to see people who we recognized who like maybe just heard us for the first time at Tiger Fest like follow us around in these places that we play at Baltimore. Like we'll see them out and just be like, "What's up, guys?" or whatever. Like,
Oh shit! So people are that's crazy.
People,
Yeah.
yeah. There's like a group of 5 people
Shout out.
that came from Tiger Fest, or saw us at Tiger Fest, and then came to our show at Game a couple months ago, and then most recently came to Soundstage and saw us.
That
They're
is
not. And they're not like they're not our friends.
We don't know. Like,
we have fans.
yeah.
like fans don't have friends. Like, what? I'm gonna tell my
cool.
mom.
It was really cool. One of the people in that group actually, well, first off, that was the first time that as a band we had ever been asked to take a picture with someone, being like, "Can we get a picture with Thunder Club?"
That's
that
dope.
tripped me the fuck out. Number 2, one of the people in that group actually, after Tiger Fest, hit us out and said, "We found you on Spotify. We love your song Skeleton Dance Party. Can I use that in a film project for my like final project at Towson?" And we were like, "Yeah, you don't even have to ask. Just do." It was cool to see people immediately catch on to it. And then, as they said, we have like 3 or 5 people that now pay attention to where we're playing next and always come out.
33 or
I think it's a little more
3 or
than
5.
that.
No,
I think it's a little more than
no
that.
4. Only 3 or 5.
Let's say 3 or 5 real.
That did sound funny.
We have 3 or 5 real fans. Yeah.
The thing is, it's so fucking cool, but when you just say it out loud, it's
It sounds so lame. Yeah,
you give it a
but-
real number.
most people don't even have 0 to 1 people following them around for anything they fucking do on a daily basis. So it is a cool feeling.
Well, we're hoping to get more and more of those out October 19th at the Crown in Baltimore.
Is that the next show you guys are playing?
Next show,
Oh, yeah.
yep, October 19th, and we had like an amazing plug. We had a
sell it. The official plug.
yeah. No. I mean, like Soundstage, I think was another like big gig for us. I mean, that's a awesome venue, one of the best in the city, and like I think we gonna be picking up some steam from them, and probably from that gig, and probably seeing a lot of familiar faces out at the Crown. People have been hitting us up about it. So,
Are you guys billed with anyone else? Or did you already?
yes,
It's Lenore Lenoir and Molehill. I don't remember.
Molehill?
Molehill. They're from Chicago, I believe.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Cool. So what are you guys like an opener or are you guys headlining it?
We're headlining it.
Yeah, we're third.
Nice.
So it's I think it's Lenore at 9, Molehill at 10, and then us at 11. So it'll be a later show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thursday night though.
Thursday night's a good night.
Uh-huh.
And that's October 19th.
19th.
The plug.
The plug.
And outside of that, like you guys have like how far ahead are you guys booking this shit?
November.
Like 2 months, a month and a half. Sometimes, I mean, it can be really short.
But then it just feels like they come up out of nowhere. It's like a week before, we're like, did anyone sell tickets?
Yeah.
I still have like 3
We have
or
another-
5.
3 or 5. Yeah, our next one after that is November 10th at Joe Squared.
Is that like a difficult like I mean, is that like a stressful part of like your existence is selling tickets or are these some of these gigs you're just playing?
I wish it was just playing.
Yeah.
It's all, we have to promote ourselves.
Yeah.
You have to market yourself. The way we play the shows and set up the shows is for ticket sales because we need to build pretty much a capital in order to buy merch and then sell that. Yeah, and record.
We're all pretty much broke.
You got to have some kind of income
True.
stream in
True.
order to
You
like,
need an investor.
justify.
True.
You need like a record
Yeah,
label.
if there's anyone listening who has a lot of money,
Yeah.
Record
There's a
label.
money man
let
out
us
there.
know.
Money man, big fat cat.
And we've been fortunate enough for a couple of these shows to work with Kevin Hawk and Transcendent Events, and he kind of is in a band called The Henchmen, and he's also working as a promoter. And he seemed to take to us. We got in, we did one show at Game with him, and we recently did Soundstage, and he's really good at getting multiple bands together, and then all of their fans to get together and stay, which is the hard part. Is for people to come out to a band that's not the band they went there for and listen to the entire show. And so we've been benefiting also from doing it ourselves and also working with promoters and getting together and gaining new fans that way as well.
As a person that goes to concerts, most people are like, I don't really give a shit about the opener.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, we
And
can get
then-
there late as shit because we just want to see the last guy.
Yeah, it's if
like
the
going to the
doors
movies.
are at 8, you're like, let me think about this. An hour before the first band starts, they'll play for like 30 minutes, which means if I'm there at like 9:45 or 10, they might have already started, but I don't really care about the first song. I want to see the last 2 songs of the set. Those are my 2 favorite songs. But actually getting someone to be there the entire time.
What is he
as
doing that you picked up on?
Incessant promotion. He is constantly promoting these shows, and he also doesn't necessarily be like, this band goes on at this time. He'll be like, this is the lineup, this is when
That's
it starts. Fucking be there. And so people would show up for the first act. We played first at Soundstage, and there's lots of people there.
That's really fucking smart.
Which was really, really cool. And he's every single day posting something about these shows that are coming up.
And this is what company or
Transcendent Events.
Transcendent Events.
Plug.
And so they're
Rhythm sections.
now besides the idea of like promoting the events themselves, because I'm assuming when you say you're working with what's his name, Kevin, what's his name?
Kevin Hawk. And he's mainly been working with John.
And so is he promoting your band necessarily? Or is he promoting the event itself that you're playing at?
More so the event, and which is advantageous for everybody. So it doesn't really, pick one band over the other.
True.
Which is fair and smart.
And what events were these that he did? The ones that
He did with us. He did the show at Game, and most recently at Soundstage. But what else
Well, he's been hooking us up with like a lot of other amazing acts in Baltimore, like Yono Say, Semantics. And so we've actually gotten to the point where we can, like, we're in communication with them just naturally about doing our own gigs or whatnot. But I mean, Kevin has opened the door, I think, in a lot of ways for us to like connect with some of these other bands who are honestly like, I mean, their shows on the Soundstage show, I mean, was wild. Like there was so many people at the end of that night, and these guys get great crowds, and to be opening for them was dope.
And what band was this?
So Yono Say is there, Semantics, they're two of my favorites, and the Henchmen, of course, as well. That was our first time playing with them, and that was the first time I saw them out, and they were amazing.
That's Kevin's band.
No, I mean Soundstage.
Cool.
Yeah, no, it is his band. It was sweet, but just Soundstage, like to see those local bands really almost filling up that whole venue was like really cool. And like the way we're going, we're hoping to be, in that slot in a year's time or something like that. So that's the goal. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, he's kind of been the glue. So it's, we shout out to Kevin.
Plug.
21.
Ooh, how many you got left in there, dude?
It's never ending.
It's like Narnia in there.
It's a whole new world.
Yeah, dude, we must have crushed those beers on fucking. Jesus Christ.
Well, we wiped out 7 during the session.
That is just
so.
the worst. You wake up and you're like, I wonder how many beers I drank. But instead of like waking up in your bed, you wake up on your couch in your basement and you just open your eyes. Like, that's how many beers I drank.
Was that you this morning, Pete?
No, that was me on Tuesday morning. So
Well, you guys all work in. So, what do you guys do like outside of music? What do you do for a living? I know you teach, right? Yeah. You teach, and is that what your employment entails exclusively at stages?
No, I work at. I serve at the Valley Inn.
Cool.
So it's between those two, and then I'm a full-time student.
And he goes to
At
school.
Towson.
Yeah, he goes to school, yeah.
What a guy.
What a guy.
Double jobbing full time.
Oh,
What about
Garrett-
you? Do you guys work together?
Mm-hmm. He's my boss on Sundays.
Nice.
I'm his boss every day. Hilarious. I work there too, and I got like a legal internship, so that's freaking cool.
A legal internship?
Yeah, trying to go to law school. Make
Oh,
some
I thought
money.
you said
There you
an
go.
illegal.
Oh, I wish it was an illegal.
You're going to law
internship.
school, dude.
Well, I can't talk about it. It's illegal. Let me
Illegal
self-incriminating.
internship. Now, are you okay? So, I was gonna ask Garrett, but
Well,
you
Garrett
guys
just
all
said
go to
that.
Towson?
I did. I graduated in December, and so
Yeah.
Connor just graduated.
I just graduated last May from University of Delaware, and Dennis was.
Oh, I graduated Franklin and Marshall up in Lancaster.
Yeah.
So
Pennsylvania.
when we first started, no one was really like. Garrett was still going to College Park, so only an hour away from here. Connor was at Delaware,
Yeah, it's only about an hour.
and then Dennis was in Lancaster, which is like an hour and a half, whatever. And then me and John were here. So whenever we were trying to like practice or jam or just make up something when we first started out, we're like trying to make everyone convene at the same time so that everyone could get back where they needed to be later. So like we have all been putting a lot of effort into this.
Is it easier now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
A
We
lot
really
easier.
set a
now,
schedule.
yeah. We kind of have a set schedule, and to begin with, like if we had tried to do this on a Thursday, I would have gotten home at like 2 in the fucking morning. It
Oh
would have
yeah,
been terrible.
yeah.
And thankfully now we have 1 day a week Saturday when everyone's kind of in the clear.
That's
To come
cool.
home and practice, for most of the day, and then in the evening, whether or not they have work, they leave, or we just kind of burn out and just hang out, and then stop the music. But it's nice to have like a routine where we know what we're doing on Saturday.
So you're studying to go to law school. You're studying music in college, correct? Or what are you studying?
Marketing. I studied
Okay.
music a couple years ago when I was in California.
At Berkeley, right?
Musicians Institute.
Oh, okay.
Berkeley. Yeah, Berkeley's in Boston, but Berkeley.
What about UC Berkeley?
Berkeley is north of where I was. I was in
okay.
Hollywood.
Okay, dope.
Film star.
Dope. So I mean, like, is so, so I mean, like, is for is music like the ultimate? Is that like the ultimate thing you're trying to do for a living, or is is this more of a hobby, or what is it?
That's totally plan A. Plan B is
for
like-
everyone.
I think at this point, if we didn't want to do music for a living, we just wouldn't do this.
If
That's true.
Like we have all had this conversation, drunk as shit, being like
Till like 4 a.m.
If something happens, if we get that one little thing, which is what happens a lot of the time,
Yeah.
would you drop everything and do this? And the answer for me is always yes. I would absolutely not matter anything that I was doing. Even if it was like some other project that I was a part of. Obviously, this is the number one thing.
Okay.
But I would, if I had a $100,000 a year job, full benefits, whatever, set for the rest of my life, and then something just happened where I had an opportunity to do this forever, or just make money from it, even for like a year, drop everything and do it. Not even a question about it.
I think we would all regret it if we didn't.
It is kind of true that, I mean, at this, because I imagine like when you're all in college, especially if you go to the same college as the guy you're working with, it's like easy to find people that are still like, especially in high school, like starting a band in high school is like, what the fuck ever, you know, nobody's doing shit else. But once you get, especially graduated from college, it's like, it kind of like, this takes fucking effort. And it's just dude.
It's a lot of organization. As Pete said, we have 5 different schedules. You know, Garrett's in law school. You know, Connor's currently working in Baltimore. T-Row Price, and
Just got
I'm
a
working.
full-time job.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Nice.
Not that fun. And I have a job up in Lancaster at a law firm. So it's a lot of balance in organization, and just having a calendar that we all share and being like, okay, this is what is going on in all of our lives. Let's organize this. It just takes a lot of organization.
My hope is that we have some disappointed employers in like 3 years, and we can just bounce and be like, okay, yeah, you know what, we can make whatever shitty, living amount of money off of music, but that doesn't matter because it's. I could never consider it work. I mean, there's work elements to it. Like you come in here, you lift your stuff, you make sure all your tunes right, and like you're ready to go. But it doesn't feel like work, even when I'm lifting a huge ass amp around. It's just natural that way. So that is the goal.
Yeah,
shout out record
to have
label.
a roadie. That's probably the
yeah.
have
Just
just
one roadie and then we're
Hey,
quit.
can you move my amp to the left like an inch?
He says
like,
yes,
man,
we
this
made
feels
it.
like work, dude. Damn, dude, every time I fucking pause, I want to drink a beer, but then there's nothing there. It's so fucking depressing to
That's
me.
really sad.
Yeah, there's a super
so
warm
sad.
old school logo, Miller Lite up there. Or no, is that just NMT?
No, that's good to go. But that's probably like 1.5 million degrees. right
Just
now.
do it, dude. Just do it.
I think it's boiling, actually.
Are you guys like thinking about doing? Did you guys throw like a big release show for your last EP?
No.
We had zero idea what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
We're like figuring out how all this kind of works piece by piece, with keeping in mind that like we've all been doing it long enough to see how it works, and then actually doing it is a completely different thing. So I think with the next project that we're going to do, we have enough money to fund pretty much like a 2-song EP, and we want to be able to like put out song by song. So like 2 singles basically. And then we could use that as an excuse to have 2,
Oh yeah.
single release shows, and then like move on from there.
Yeah, I've had that conversation with like virtually everyone that has come on the podcast as of late. But yeah, releasing single by single has got to be the fucking way.
I mean, we don't really have much of a choice. because
Exactly.
We
So it's
don't
convenient.
we don't have a record label to be like, hey, here's a week in the studio, do whatever the fuck you want. Like that's like
Yeah.
that's
It's the
another
dream.
goal in
It's the
mind.
dream.
Yeah.
But like for the time being, putting out 2 songs is honest a little bit. I don't know. For like the market, it's what.
Yeah, there you
Okay. You hear me now? It's easier. It's more tangible for the consumer to listen to one song,
go.
especially within like everybody, literally all of pop music
Yeah,
is putting out just single.
It's
after
too much.
single.
It's almost too much to expect that somebody's going to sit down and listen to a full EP.
Yeah.
Like of a band that they've never heard of, most likely. Like it's just like you're not Kanye West. Like
The
you can't
age-
drop an album after 3 years.
The age
and
of the album of like people going and buying an album and then putting that CD in their car and listening to it front of back. That is dead. Like I don't have an aux cord in my car. The radio is like most of the time. So when I put in a CD, I'm going to listen to it front to back.
True.
But that I am not the majority. In
Yeah.
that. There's no way. Like you're going to open up your phone and be like, let me put on Pandora. And it's going to play it's pretty much all singles.
Yeah.
For the most part, if you listen to pop
All
music.
your favorite stuff.
Yeah.
Just-
And then, so now it's like, you're going to get noticed too by a single. No one's going to be like, holy shit, that whole album was great. No, you didn't listen to the whole album. You listened to the one song.
You listened to the single.
You're like, but the nice thing about our music too is that most of our songs are like 3 minutes long. We try to
perfect.
keep your attention span like right there, and we don't drag shit out. Not saying that's bad. Like, I mean, Dazed
No,
and
it's good, but-
Confused. Well, I mean, pick any classic rock song that's longer than 4 or 5 minutes. You're like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna listen to the entire thing. But no one does that.
Yeah, but that was
anymore.
because it was in the 70s. You'd get like a fucking big ass vinyl with like one song on the front and another song on the back, and the song on the
And
back
that's the
sucked.
album.
There's no fast forward. There's no fast forward. I mean, people don't have the attention. We don't have the attention span really to do a 5-minute song, but people don't have the attention span to listen to an 8-track album front to back.
Oh, yeah.
They'll listen to the first song and maybe half the second one, and you can see that Bandcamp has the ability for you to look at how far people have gotten into your album, and there's such a severe drop off after the first song, and no one listens to
Oh,
the
yeah.
entire song anyways.
That's probably
So-
something you learn about in marketing. I feel like the idea of figuring out what appeals, like marketing to you as you would want to be marketed to, like understanding what actually grasps people.
Yeah.
It's a technique I
It's
feel like
the
a lot of
elevator
people
pitch,
don't.
I guess, in a way. You gotta like within the first 15 seconds be like,
You get like a
"Alright."
minute,
Yeah.
and like that's it.
It's kind of
You
the
tell-
reason.
It's hard enough to sell a show as it is get somebody to actually like get on their phone, look up the band,
Yeah.
and actually listen to it.
Now, are you guys still playing at all with Juice? Because I know, was that all of you that were involved with playing behind him for the
It
shows?
was me and Pete. That was and Eric Laughlin,
Oh,
and then there
true.
was Jordan, who's Lord Business.
That's dope.
His
Are you guys
DJ.
doing much of that anymore?
Not since I think Juice is it, to my knowledge, has slowed down a little bit since he's gone back to school at Towson.
True.
But since the Toronto thing, we haven't had anything, and our focus.
How
has
was
been
that, by the
on
way?
Thunder Club.
The
was
Toronto
cool.
thing was not with Thunder Club, though, right?
No,
Oh, okay, cool. Then never mind.
it was interesting. It was honestly, it was like a mini tour, and it was very eye opening from my perspective, a managerial like overview of the whole
Like
thing.
in what way?
The whole entire planning of it was kind of fucked. It was like somebody else was supposed to get the van, then that fell on my shoulders, and then like when we were going to get to the border, there's protocol that you need to know, and nobody knew the protocol, so I was literally in the van on my phone, like looking up what to do. Like you're supposed to have your passports all on the driver, like the driver's supposed to have all the passports, and it was like when we got there was no plan. Like I didn't know the contact. It was through Jet. It was just like, for me, it was like seeing how much planning actually needs to go into a tour, let alone we did one date and it was like we left Wednesday,
Yeah.
played Thursday, left Friday.
They searched our entire you have a lot of shit for the most part. We didn't bring that much. They in Canada they gave us like backline and shit, but they searched the entire car. Like they open your bags, they bring like a drug dog out.
They have
And
every
luckily,
yeah.
weed is pretty legal in Canada, so they weren't like mad. Yeah, Canada freaking saw weed. Yeah, it's a lot of other shit that you got to worry about. Just getting gear across a border is like a huge pain in the ass.
Have you guys thought about looking into getting a manager?
We thought about it. It
Thought
costs
about
money.
Money is always the issue.
But it's money that you make as well, right? So like
Yeah,
they take a
could-
percentage of
sure.
your So I feel like if you can make if 90% of what you could make is more than 100% of what you're making.
I've talked
Might
to
not be a
somebody
bad
about it
idea.
before. They've, it's finding somebody that's like, literally, it's like a third arm.
It's got to be the
They're
manager.
they're
almost has
literally
to be.
another part of the band, because they have to be just as involved and just as passionate.
Mm-hmm.
Like in my eyes, they have to do that, because if they're gonna book gigs and manage us, like I need to know that they give a fuck about what we're doing.
They literally have to. I think that's a mistake that most younger artists make, is that they get involved with a manager who's only interested or only has an interest in the business side of that connection.
Yes.
And so it's like, in order to be a good manager, somebody who's going to put you on the right shows and market you correctly and things like that, they have to kind of have an understanding of what you guys are about. They can't just be like somebody who's just like, oh, I got your show here, they might pay you here. It's just
Right. And that's the problem that I have with agencies that, like we were talking about it earlier,
Yeah.
that you've worked with.
Mhm.
It's just kind of like they book the show, they get their percentage, and they've done what they want to do, and they don't want anything else except for their pay cut.
Yeah.
And that's how it works.
It would make it a lot easier at times, and then you're like, man, we already have to deal with 4 other people. Dealing with one extra person would be like, God, I'd have another person I need to hate at least once a week.
Yeah, but it would be that one person's job to like.
Make us not all hate each other?
Exactly. Like
Good
that would be his
fuck.
literal job.
Yeah.
There are 30 people in a box that make us not all hate each other. Their names are Miller Lite. Plug.
Plug.
Well, also, like with managers, you pay for what you get, and at this point, financially, we don't have enough to fund a recording session while, hiring a manager that's going to be worth the money we're putting. If that makes any sense, like if someone wanted to manage us for free, we would be a little bit leery about that, being like, why is it free? And as you said, so many managers get involved with young artists that are only interested in making money. We don't have enough money to pay someone who doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so basically, it all boils down to us being poor. But yeah.
Where do you work, by the way?
I work at Barley Snyder Law Firm, plug at in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So it's
Are you a paralegal?
no, I wish. Well, actually, I don't wish
Barely
because
legal.
they can't leave at 5. Yeah. No, I'm I feel like that was underrated.
That was funny, dude.
Yeah, but it's like completely different to the band life. It's like a double life almost, and it's just completely different. It's like, yeah, Monday through Friday, I'm a fucking legal assistant in a law firm, and then Saturday I come home and rock out with the boys. It's kind of cool to have 2 facets.
Dude, well, I'm looking forward to whatever single show you guys eventually throw. If it winds up being a single release show, which I guess that's a thing. I don't know if I've ever personally heard of it.
Our single release
It
show.
would make sense if it was a thing.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah, it
understand
should
why
be.
it wouldn't be.
It should be a thing.
Our release show in December was a Facebook post, so anything's upwards from that.
But that was
Yeah,
like
dude.
around the time we recorded before we had even booked a show.
Okay.
I think
That
the
was our
first show
best
we actually
strategy.
played was July 4th at my mom's house
Nice.
for about
Yeah,
10 people.
yeah.
And it was
right.
super fucking fun, and we all got really drunk and had a great time. But other
it was
than
fantastic.
that, like we booked studio time before we ever booked anything live. So it was like we had that set in mind. So people, because the number one thing is when you tell people you're in a band, it's like, oh, where can I listen to your stuff?
Mm-hmm.
It's where can I listen to your stuff and where are you playing next? Oh yeah, and your
Yeah, yeah,
obviously your name.
Yeah, we didn't have
So-
a name for the longest time, and it literally came to us sitting at Garrett's grandmother's pool. Plug.
What-
And
What is the significance of that?
nothing really. We were just throwing a freaking patch cable around, and everyone was saying something random, and I forgot who said it, but someone just goes Thunder Club. And we're like, oh fuck.
I think it was Connor.
Yeah, it was Connor. Yeah.
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 He's just in the back.
I
dude.
said it first.
Unsung hero, dude. I like it. It does have a very indie feel to. I mean, like, what genre do you guys consider yourselves? Would you say?
I would put it under indie rock, but like I don't tell people that because it's so broad.
Yeah.
I will literally tell people time and time again. I say we sound like if the Strokes and the Kings of Leon had an illegitimate child, it would be us.
Wow.
Because people can like it's tangible. People go like, oh, I like the Strokes. I like the Kings of Leon. I know them.
I like illegitimate children.
Yeah, people have screwed up our names so many times. It's
Kings of
it's
Leon.
hilarious. Yeah, it's like the Thunder Clubs. Yeah, we got that one. And they put Thunder Clubs as one word. It's like the Thunder Clubs, and I was like,
Jesus.
that's not even. It's
Oh,
like,
that whole
Close.
Towson thing.
Close.
No.
Literally.
A lot of
not
people
even-
might not know us, but like that's like a kind of a huge insult. It's like when you first meet someone and your name is Matt, and they're like, "Oh, nice to meet you, Michael," or like they just call you the completely fucking wrong name.
Yeah, but back to going to our process, we kind of did everything backwards to a way a lot of bands do it. A lot of bands will start booking shows and playing live and then being like, oh, we should record this shit now because, we think people are going to come out and see us. But in the way that we started playing shows, being like, now you can go listen to us on Spotify if you like the show. So it was kind of reverse.
Do you think it's going to be kind of a similar process when you're naming the next EP? Because I know we talked about maybe releasing them as singles, but at the same time, I don't know if it's do your songs run together as a common theme, or sent to, I guess it's 5 different people writing them, but like the feel of the songs, do you think it fits into one cohesive project?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think our newer songs definitely have a little bit different flavor than the older ones, but they definitely still all fit together. When you listen to the 4-track EP, each song is different. There are no common themes.
Do you
Like,
think there's? Oh, my bad.
When we do write, it's not like we all write individual parts for the most part. It's like we pretty much write as one unit. So
Okay.
it ends up making our sound much more familiar. It's like you listen to pretty much any Red Hot Chili Peppers song for at least not the last like 3 albums, I guess. You listen to anything for like 10 seconds, you're like, that's them.
Mm-hmm.
You like don't even have to think about it. And that's kind of the way that we write, I guess, is like we just try to make it all into one thing.
You guys have any tentative names for the next project, or have you even thought about it yet?
Me and Garrett were hanging out the other night. And we were like, "Oh yeah, when we release our album, it's gonna be called Thunder Club Volume 1 or something like." I don't remember what we said. We've never had a name idea. Like we couldn't even come up with anything for a 4-song EP.
The Thunder Clubs.
You could just do like Led Zeppelin is 2, 3. You could.
I'm not against that.
Wouldn't be the ideal situation. Maybe for one of them, just have one album just called like 4 or something like that. But other than that,
Our
like,
second album is Thunder Club 5.
Yo, not to interrupt, but I gotta go, guys. I'll see you later.
Hey,
Oh
thanks for
shit! Yeah,
having
we
us,
can
man.
wrap this up.
Nah, it's cool. You guys are.
I have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
poop.
Let's
So
do it,
Okay.
dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just want to get that on the air.
Peace.
Connor has to poop.
Plug.
for the airwaves.
so I mean, like, I guess to close it out, you guys have anything? Like, I guess you talked about the show October 19th.
Yes, October 19th with some
October
other great
19th.
bands,
Also-
Molehill and Lenore Lenoir.
Also, we were recently we were honored with being featured on Charm City Sampler, which is kind of every year they have
Dope.
this studio. Deep End Studio puts out like almost like a compilation of what a lot of the top people in Baltimore music consider the best songs to come out.
Damn.
And like John and I were just fucking around before a Joe Squared show, and he said, "Hey man, you should like send this stuff in." And it was like either on the deadline day or after the deadline
It
day.
was the day after. They were
Yeah.
like, you can send in something late. And
We sent it in, and we got this email back being like, "Hey, we love it, and would you like to be featured on Charm City Sampler?" That is a free CD that he gives out. I think there's 15 or 18 bands or so. Yeah, 15 I think. And so they released it at Main Street Music Fest, which is today in Ellicott City. We're not playing, but our music will be on the CD that will be thrown into the streets.
So these songs you did today, they're going to be like the first recordings that you have of them.
We did a radio show which was also really sick. Shout out to WTMD, and we managed to get the mixes like 2 months later, but we still got the mixes, and I like took it and kind of just touched it up a little bit, and we have those that we can listen to ourselves and show other people. We don't have it out as something palpable that other people can listen to, but we do have some sort of recording,
And this will be good because we'll have like a video along with it, just like nothing crazy,
Right.
but just like it'll just be a moving camera. It'll be something cool.
Any
it's not.
form of media. Yeah.
like,
Oh, I'm hyping up Eric too much, dude.
yeah.
Any form of media in this day and age will get
It'll
you
be
further.
cool.
Yeah, especially
good enough.
visual media.
Be better than
love-
nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what we do here. Better than nothing, right?
That's the name of your podcast.
All
Well,
right, well.
thanks for having us.
come on your own to comfort me. Cause you took and she shook and you always overlooked me. Now we're laughing what you're feeling, the skin right off my bones. Cause I'm trying, but it's dying. Your face is good at night, it's a whole act like it's so bad when I whisper, 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 whisper. All I need to get me to a sunset, tell me make believe. All I need to get me to a sunset, tell me make believe. All I need to get me to a sunset, tell me make believe. I found a reason for it all. You can't deny it's something clean. Could've read the writing on the wall. But no, we're firing gasoline. Cause you took, yeah you shook, and you always overlook me. Now we're laughing what you're feeling, the skin right off my bones. Cause I'm trying, but it's dying. Your face is good at night, it's so don't act like it's so bad when I whisper, 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 whisper. All I need to get into a sunset, tell me make believe. All I need to get into a sunset, tell me make believe. All I need to get into a sunset, tell me make believe. Sometimes I feel I should walk away and just left you there. That's alright with me, cause I got it over there. Hey! Sometimes I feel like it isn't right. Keep you up at night. burning, baby. Don't think I can go on. But your reflection pulls me closer. Why don't you come on over? Just sip the night away, play tic-tac-toe with every roller. 'Cause I'm inside your mind, and you're inside mine. I'm on my own, but maybe just lucky. Yeah, we can laugh, even though you're lying. I used to sit and wait for one more night to throw it away. Does it break you? The feeling that you're can't mistake you for another one night show. Whoa, 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 whoa. Remember the night I gave you the moon and stars, feeling so real I can taste it. The sun illuminates all these scars. We only get close when we're wasted. Yeah, 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 yeah. A bad town, it's a bad town. Lock me up. I gotta know, is it overkill or am I not doing enough? I'm just a man, like a soda can. Baby, I'm about to pop. Can't let it go, need another one. I don't ever want it to stop. What? But that's the thing. She said you have to really want it. It's not enough to say I'm on my own. Or maybe just lucky. Yeah, we can laugh, even though you're lying. I used to sit and wait for one more night to throw it away. Does it break you? The feeling that you're can't mistake you for another one night show. Whoa, 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 we're moving to the sound. I said I'd come around, but sometimes it's not so easy. You might find it's all a blur sometimes, 'cause when it is all said and done, it don't matter whose side you're on. It took a while to get used to. It took the game of hide and seek, the picture and the beat I barely recognized. There's too much noise up in the background. down, we're moving to the sound. I said I'd come around, but sometimes it's not so easy. You may find it's all a blur sometimes, 'cause when it is all said and done, it don't matter whose side you're on. Can't live fast and live long. It don't matter whose side you're on.
How was that, Jimmy?
Waking up, I can't help feeling like the world is set in stone. Every time I try to change it, find a way to end back